Hey, Zips fans, Spencer German once again at the Zips Digital Network doing another check-in with our fine coaches over at the University of Akron. And today we are joined by the head softball coach, Meaggan Pettipiece, as we continue to see where things are, how everybody's doing during this quarantine time. And Meaggan, obviously, we'll start by just asking how you're holding up, how everything's going, and how you've been sort of dealing with this whole situation.
Well, it's been, definitely interesting for everybody, I'm sure, in different ways. Just, we've really tried to stay positive about what's happening in the future and, just that things hopefully will go back to somewhat normal as we remember it being. And just staying in contact with all the girls, through exams and just making sure that they have all the resources that they need to make sure everything got done for their semester. So it's been good.
I would argue that for the spring sports like yourself, like with softball, this was probably the most strange just because, I mean, you guys were in the middle of your season, hadn't even really begun, conference play in your season yet. And you're sort of just getting the ball rolling. I know you were very excited about the way the team was playing early on and getting some of those games against non-conference teams in so you can sort of see what kind of group you had. And then all of a sudden it's just cut short. So just what was it like as everything sort of unfolded for you and for your team, and how did you sort of address it and handle it as it kind of came to be?
Well, when everything originally got let go, we were in weightlifting. We were all together, and when we left, it felt like we were actually like on the Titanic. It was kind of crazy. But the girls have been great with staying in touch and asking questions, and just trying to get a feel for where things are with the program going forward. And I've tried to reassure them that everything's great, and we're really, at this point, just trying to close off everything that we had from this year. The hardest thing is, yeah, we were just getting started, and I don't think that we got to the point of that winning atmosphere that we were trying to get to. So that was really disappointing. We finished on a weekend where we didn't have a lot of wins and things like that. But I think that the culture and, where we want the team to go off the field has been our priority. And so I think that we just continue with that. And this gives them another reason to want to come back and fight even harder in the MAC.
Is there any benefit for you, being that you were a first-year head coach, and now kind of having, again, obviously you'd rather be playing, but is there any benefit to, like, all right, you have another year to sort of institute your culture and get this group sort of up to speed on who you are as a coach and understanding them and them understanding you? Is there any benefit to that? I know it's kind of a weird situation, obviously, but do you see is there some sort of silver lining at all there?
Yeah, for sure, because it just gives us more time. I mean, changing a culture and the staff and the people that you have, all that takes time. And for the girls to get to know each other and play and be around each other, having the little bit of a season that we had this year, I think is going to help, especially those younger kids that now have that experience to take into technically their freshman year and have a whole nother group with them. So for us, I think it's going to make a big difference. Pitching was one of the things that we struggled with, and now we've just doubled our staff size. So that's nice. And, I think that, just a little bit more time, it definitely should be a benefit for us.
You obviously had a handful of five seniors on your team this year, and the NCAA is allowing spring sport athletes from this past year to return for an extra year of eligibility if they choose. I'm just curious, have any of your athletes expressed interest in taking advantage of that extra year that the NCAA is giving?
Actually, 4 out of the 5 would like to return. So Adrienne Smith is the only senior that, and she's a pitcher that is looking to just move on. She had a lot of injuries and things she fought with just to, try to finish out her career. So I think it's great for her. She wants to be a coach. I think she's going to look into, getting into that kind of an internship or GA position, which is great for her down the road. But everybody else is looking to come back. The thing is we haven't heard anything of whether things are allowed or not allowed yet at Akron and what's exactly happening with the program. So that's kind of what we're waiting on. But if that does happen, obviously it changes the dynamic a little bit. We are excited to have, some of the girls back because I think some of them were big contributors and can really keep us going towards the future.
I'm just curious. Obviously, you mentioned some of the hurdles just with the university as a whole. We're sort of waiting. Everybody in the department's kind of waiting to see, what things are going to look like next year financially. But from just like the NCAA standpoint, what are the biggest hurdles with this rule? Because obviously you have freshmen and incoming students coming in and athletes coming in, but then you're also going to be potentially bringing back some athletes who are seniors, and, like there's scholarship things that are involved. You don't have to go into details with specific people, but just what are some of the big hurdles that the NCAA is trying to work with some of the spring sports on to address those things and get them situated?
Well, I think the biggest thing is going to be number of kids on a team. I think that's going to be the biggest fight for coaches going forward, because there's only so many allowed at playoffs and tournaments and stuff like that in the postseason. So, you get to that point with a full team and you want everybody to travel, and that might not be allowed to happen. I think that's the other hurdle that a lot of us are going to have, is we're going to have travel squads, and kids are going to have to understand that they may not be traveling every time just because of the cost and having that many players. The nice thing is it does allow us to have better practices and, even some more inter squad games, which we struggled to do at times. We struggled even with 22 kids to have enough healthy to actually have an actual inter squad, game. So I think that those kind of things are hopefully going to help us, and, some struggles that, we might not even are aware of yet. But I think that, going forward, they all, know that the numbers is going to be one of the biggest things we have as a challenge.
What are some of the ways that you're helping keep morale up with the team? I know some of the other coaches I've talked about, doing stuff like this, Zoom meetings, keep in touch. I know some of the athletes on teams, they have their TikTok groups that they're sending videos back and forth, or they're, using Snapchat, whatever it might be. But what are some of the ways that you guys as a coaching staff are trying to keep morale up and also help your girls to train, even though they don't have access to the facilities? I see you have the machine behind you, so you're clearly working out at home, but how are you trying to keep them in shape as well?
Yeah. We've given them, stuff to do as far as workouts. Our strength trainer is still, big on sending them workouts as well. So we're just staying, being encouraging, making sure that we're staying in touch with them just so they don't lose that lack of, commitment to the program. We have done a few Zoom calls. We're probably going to do another one next week, actually, with the whole team. But it's been, as far as keeping them all together, I think a lot of them do communicate a lot. A lot of them are trying to figure out housing for next year and, what, everything is going to happen in the future as far as coming back. So those are the kind of things that we focused on the most. And we did an actual full conference TikTok, which I don't know if you've seen that, but I can send you a copy of it. It's pretty neat. I think as a conference, it's been really great. All the coaches have been communicating. We've really tried to, make it a combined effort to realize that softball is something we want to continue playing. And, it doesn't matter what they give us, we're going to make the best of it.
That's awesome. And obviously I know some of the teams within Akron have also been doing, TikTok contests and stuff like that. So I think the content's been very positive, and, teams are just trying to do the best they can to keep an optimistic outlook on everything. So that's good to hear. I'll end on this one, something sort of more fun for you. Just what's something that you're really itching to do after being cooped up for the last few months as they start sort of opening things up again a bit here in Ohio? So what's that one thing that you're just like, man, I really want to get out and do this?
Well, I just really want to go to work. I'm home with 4 kids, so I can't wait to get back in the office and get out on my field, hit some balls. That's what I look forward to. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that has been a struggle for me is relationships and people. I'm a big people person, so I don't need any more alone time or time away from my kids. I just want to be around the people that I love to be around, which is everybody at Akron and my team. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Nice. I like the answer. And we obviously miss being around you guys. I think everyone's sort of itching to get back into the office and back on campus. And especially with summer coming up, it's always nice to be walking around when it's nice weather. And so hopefully in the next few weeks, we're all back soon. We're certainly looking forward to it. Coach, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining me and checking in with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right. Well, thanks for watching. As always, Zips fans, you can follow on with all things Akron Athletics over at GoZips.com. We'll continue to keep you posted on things as this situation evolves. But until next time, thanks for watching, and go Zips.